Today I'm going to show you a 10-minute stability routine that you can go through to help bulletproof your knees. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with GuerrillaZen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to show you a quick little corrective exercise stability routine that you can do for your knees to help bulletproof them and make them more resilient to injury. That's it. Let's get right into the exercises. One of the first things that we're going to start with is a little foam rolling, specifically of the calves, all right? If you've watched any of my past videos on knee issues, then you know that likely if the knee is bothering you and you have some stability issues in the knee, what we need to do is mobilize the joints below and above the knee in order to help to actually bring stability to the knee. So the ankle, when it becomes stiff and it loses its ability to dorsiflex, which is your capacity to pull your toes up towards your shin like this, when you start to lose the capacity of the ankle to do that, that's when knee stability issues start to become a thing for you, all right? So, I've showed a variety of different ways to help, increase the range of motion of the ankle. Right now, we're just gonna keep it simple and we're gonna get after the calves, which typically, if these things are really, really tight, a lot of these muscles in here plantar flex the foot, they do that. Okay, so if they're really tight, they're going to restrict your ability to pull those toes up, which is why we're going to start by foam rolling the calves 12 times each, just to get rid of any tension that you might have in there, all right? What I like to do is put put one calf on the roller, stack the other leg on top of it just for extra downwards pressure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to simply do 12 rolls back and forth, all right? 12 is the magic number. If you want, you can kind of point your toes on that bottom leg out. Do a couple reps like this. Do a couple reps with them pointing straight up, and then a couple with them pointed with the toes turned in, like that. All right. 12 reps is what we're going for. We're gonna get that first side done. Immediately go into the second side. Same thing. 12 rolls back and forth. Kind of lift your butt up, and really try to create a lot of downwards pressure on that lower leg with the other leg here, okay? You can just kind of rest it on there, that's fine, but that little bit of extra pressure really goes the extra mile and helps to facilitate more release of the calves. Now we're gonna do a static stretch of the calves. I've showed this before. You can do this in a variety of different ways. You can use an incline board, like that board that you can see in the background there, or you can just use a foam roller. You can really use a wall too, but the idea is to put the toes up on an elevated surface higher than your heel, putting that ankle into a dorsiflex position, and then basically what we're going to do is we're just going to hold this for about 30 seconds, okay? Really trying to adjust the body so that we're feeling a deep stretch up that calf on the leg that we're stretching, okay? My ankle on this side is really, really tight. I've rolled this one many times in the past. But if you have the capacity to, try to step in front of the roller. If you're holding onto something in front of you, that can help you to accomplish this. But this is pretty much it. All right, we're gonna switch sides here. Go ahead and get the other side. Anytime you foam roll a muscle prior to stretching it, like what we've done here, that's always the best case scenario, okay? If you can roll a muscle prior to stretching it, you're gonna get more release and you're gonna get more of what you're after, which is that muscle to calm down, okay? So just remember that. If you think of a rope, if a rope has a bunch of knots in it, what happens if you pull it really tight, two ends of it in opposite directions? Well, the knots in the rope will get tighter, all right? If you get rid of those knots first, prior to stretching it, that's just gonna make the stretch more effective, and that's really what we just did here today. 30 seconds of that stretch each side, and again, we followed that, or that's following, I should say, the calf rolling that we started with. Now we're just gonna do 15 ankle dorsiflexions. This is a mobility exercise. I showed this, I think in my last video. Basically, keep the heel planted, drive the knee in front of the toes, and then come back. We're gonna do about 15 of these. We're just trying to get that ankle more used to dorsiflexing, okay? So mobilizations are not stretches. Again, remember that term, motion is lotion. A joint mobilization just involves bringing the joint in and out of the range of motion that you're trying to acquire, all right? And that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna do 15 of these on this leg. I think that was approximately 15 And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Keep that heel planted, right? We don't want the heel lifting off like that. Stays planted the whole time. You're driving the knees in front of the toes, forcing the ankle joint to operate like a hinge, like a door hinge, okay? That's the whole point of this. Try to drive that knee forward a little bit further each time. Scissor in and out of that end range of motion that you have. This is really all that we need to do. And we're gonna crank out 15 on this side as well. And that kind of wraps up what we're doing for the ankle. All right, remember, when we're trying to stabilize this, we need more mobility here in the ankle in order to help facilitate the stabilization of the knee. And we just started with 3 exercises for the lower leg to address that specifically. From here, we're gonna work on some of these muscles up here in the glutes that help to stabilize the knee, right? Now that we took care of the lower leg, basically the ankle, and anything that might be going on there that is contributing to instability here, we're now actually going to strengthen the glutes, specifically the gluteus medius, which is a muscle that really helps to stabilize the knee. And if you're weak there, you probably have knee problems. And if you have stiff ankles in tandem with weak glutes, you're definitely gonna have knee problems. One of the most effective ways to strengthen the gluteus medius, which is a butt muscle here on the side, is just to do side lying leg raises. So we're gonna crank out 15 of these, just like this. My glutes are pretty sore from my workout the other day. But any kind of lateral side-to-side motion that you can do with your legs will effectively work these muscles, so it doesn't have to be this exercise. This is just the easiest to do in like a body weight flow type of scenario like this. We're gonna crank out 15 here, like I said, and then switch sides. You can also work these same muscles with a hip circle on your legs, where you kind of essentially do sideways walking, monster walks and things like that. There's lots of ways to work the gluteus medius. Almost all of them involve some sort of lateral motion of the hip, something that incorporates hip abduction, which is taking the leg away from the midline, like what we're doing right now. So we're gonna crank out 15 here. Again, you could do alternate exercises for this. Any kind of sideways walking with a resistance band will do. We're gonna go ahead and do 15 on the other side as well, or on the primary side that we started with here. We're only gonna do 2 sets. So we're just finishing this side off. I think that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. One thing that you're gonna want to pay attention to when you're doing this is opening up the leg and externally rotating it. Don't do that. And what I mean by that is allowing the toes to kind of point up, right? Keep the toes pointing forwards in the direction that your eyes are going, right? That's gonna help to facilitate the best contraction of the gluteus medius. Basically, it's gonna make it work the most. When you externally rotate your leg like this, it's gonna take a lot of that contraction off of the gluteus medius, which is obviously not what we wanna be doing. We're gonna finish up our set on this side. Again, 15 reps. Hope you're coming on your own because I'm not good at that. So we just worked abductions, which is taking the leg out away from the midline. Now we're gonna take the leg towards the midline and work some of these other muscles of your inner thigh here, which are also important in helping to stabilize the knee. So we're gonna do adductions now, bringing the leg towards the midline. One way that I like to do this, you lay on your side, kind of like you're doing those side lying leg raises, but you take the top leg and you plant that foot just above the knee on the side that's down. And then what we're gonna actually be working is this leg, this down leg, all right? You're just gonna raise it up and come back down. We're gonna do about 10 of these. These are a smaller, weaker muscle. You don't need as many reps as we needed on the gluteus medius. This is it. You're just raising it up and down like this. We're gonna go for about 10, and then we're gonna switch sides. I think that was approximately 10 right there. Now we're working the other side. Same thing. Get set up the exact same way. Plant the foot just above the knee, and then raise up. For this, obviously the range of motion is a lot less than with the abduction, where you're taking the leg up away from the midline. That's okay. It's really more about where you're feeling the contraction with this. And with this movement, the range of motion is just gonna, naturally be a lot less. But 10 reps on that side. And now we're gonna do our last set on the side that we started with. 2 sets of each. Let's crank these out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10, and now we're gonna flip around and work the last side here, the second one that we started with. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The last thing that we're gonna do is some hip bridges with a resistance band on. This is a hip circle. This is what I was mentioning earlier. Any kind of band, a closed band like this will do. This is also optional, but I do recommend it for this. Basically, put that band above your knees, okay? Right about there. Lay back, bend both your knees, plant both your feet flat on the floor. All right, what we're gonna do here, just standard hip thrusters. Keep your core braced like you're anticipating a punch to the gut, a little bit of tension right here. You're gonna push the hips up, squeeze them at the top, and then separate a little bit at the top, just about an inch. You should open and then come back down. Up, open an inch, come back down. Just like that. We're gonna do 10 of these, 2 sets of 10. 4, 5, 6, give the glutes a nice squeeze. 7, at the top of the motion. 8, 9, and 10. That's it. We're gonna do one more set of this. With this, your glutes are gonna be contracting maximally, doing the most work at the top of the motion. So keep that in mind. That's when you should be feeling the glutes work the most. And that's when you should give the glutes the most conscious, that's when you should have the most conscious control over your glutes and squeeze and facilitate that contraction there as much as you can. It's at the very top, okay? So really be thinking about squeezing the butt muscles at the top of the motion, because we know that's when the glutes are working the most, right? By involving this abduction component, we're kind of bringing into play not just the gluteus maximus, which is your primary hip extensor, which is where we're working that when we're doing the hip thrusters, but by having the band on and incorporating that little bit of an outwards kind of press against the band, now we're involving those lateral muscles of the glutes, like the gluteus medius, even more, and getting that to work too. So this kind of facilitates getting the whole, gluteal muscle group to fire in tandem with one another. Something that you're particularly going to benefit from if you have knee stability issues. All right, we're going to crank out 10 of these as well. And there we go. That's pretty much it. That's the completed knee stability routine for today. You can just do that as a warm-up or as a cool down, but that would primarily be pretty beneficial to do before you train your legs, especially if you're somebody that has knee stability issues and you want to train your legs without having to worry about your knees. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, make sure you go ahead and do that. As you can see, I'm very active over there. Every single day I post something, a lot of new content, stuff that you'll see only there that I don't post here on YouTube. So if you're not following me over there yet, go ahead and do that. If you enjoyed today's video, then you're really gonna like my 3-day functional training split. What this is, it's basically a 3-day workout sequence that you can go through that helps to bulletproof your body and make it more resilient while helping you put on muscle, okay? So it's a 3-day workout plan. It's free, it's available on my website. If you wanna get that, just open up the description down below and click the first link available there. That will take you over to my website where I'll ask for your email. As soon as you enter in your email, I'll send you a copy of that workout within 5 minutes. If you're looking for another place to get that 3-day workout plan, go ahead and click this link up here. That will take you to the same spot on my website. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that up here. And if you want to see another video similar to this one today, check out this video over here. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.